The air hung heavy around us, the weight of Chidike's confession pressing down on my chest like 1,000 pounds. I could barely wrap my mind around it. The man I had trusted, the man I had dreamed of a future with, had once been a part of the very system I feared most. The council, the shadowy force that had haunted my kind for centuries, was not just a distant enemy, it was his legacy, his family's bloodline. Chidike stood before me, his eyes dark with the ghost of the past, the faintest traces of regret etched on his face. "I never wanted you to find out this way," he said, his voice breaking with a rawness that surprised me. "I thought I could protect you from it. I thought I could keep you safe without you ever knowing the truth. But now you've told me everything," I whispered, my heart heavy with conflicting emotions. "Chidike, you were once part of them. Your family, they hunted people like me. Like the council did to my mother." The word stung, but it was the truth. His family had been hunters, using their power to track and neutralize powerful individuals like me, those born with the gift to bridge the realms between the living and the spirit world. "I was a part of that life," he admitted, his gaze dropping to the ground, guilt weighing on him like a shackle. "I was born into it. It was all I knew. My father, he was one of the most feared leaders in the council. My family, they were chosen to hunt and control those like you, those with untapped power." I stepped back, my mind swirling with the new reality. Chidike had grown up in that world, he had been groomed for the very thing I had been running from my entire life. He had been trained to find people like me and destroy them. "But you left," I said, the question hanging in the air. "You ran away, broke from them. Why?" Chidike's eyes hardened, a flicker of old pain crossing his face. "I couldn't stand what they were doing. The council didn't just hunt people, they exploited them. They controlled their gifts, manipulated their spirits for power, twisted their very essence for their own gain. I was no different from the other hunters, Amora. But one day, I saw the truth. I saw a woman, a child, they were about to take her life because of what she could do. I watched them kill her, and I knew then that I couldn't be a part of it anymore. I ran away, changed my name, left everything behind." I stared at him, my heart caught between my anger and the affection I still felt for him. He had chosen to leave it all behind, but that didn't erase the past. It didn't erase the blood on his hands, even if he hadn't personally killed anyone. "I thought I could outrun them," he continued, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I was wrong. The council never forgets. They know I've been hiding. And now that they know about you, Amora, they'll come for us. They'll stop at nothing to take you." The dread inside me deepened. The council wasn't just a distant threat now, it was here. And Chidike, the man I loved, was the key to everything. But could I trust him? Could I truly trust him, knowing what his family had done? "Why didn't you tell me this sooner?" I asked, my voice shaking with a mixture of frustration and fear. "Why keep this from me?" Chidike looked up at me, his eyes pleading for understanding. "Because I thought if I told you, you would hate me. I thought you'd never be able to look at me the same way again. I thought that by keeping my past hidden, I could protect you from all of this. But I was wrong. I was wrong to keep secrets. And I know I can't protect you alone anymore. The council is coming. And I need you to be ready." I looked at him, I truly looked at him, for the first time, seeing the man he was now, not the man he had been. He was not the same person he had been in his past life. He had changed. But could I change my perception of him? Could I forgive him for his past sins? He reached out, his hand gently touching my arm, grounding me in the storm of emotions that threatened to overwhelm me. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, Amora. But I swear to you, I'll fight for you. I'll fight for us. I'll do whatever it takes to protect you, to make things right." Tears welled up in my eyes. I had never felt more conflicted. Part of me wanted to run, to distance myself from him and everything he represented. But another part of me, the part that still loved him, knew I couldn't. I couldn't run anymore. The council was coming, and I needed to face them, not alone, but with Chidike by my side. I don't know if I can forgive you yet, Chidike, I whispered, the words heavy on my tongue. But I'm not running. I'm not going anywhere. If we are going to fight this, we'll do it together. But I need you to promise me something. Anything, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Promise me you'll never hide anything from me again. Promise me that you always tell me the truth, no matter how hard it is. Because if we're going to survive this, I need to trust you completely. Chidike nodded, his hand tightening around mine. I promise. I'll never hide anything from you again. The council's pursuit. The weight of the promise hung in the air as we stood together in the moonlight, the distant sound of a wolf's howl echoing in the forest. The council was coming. We couldn't escape them. But in that moment, I knew one thing, Chidike wasn't just my fiancé anymore. He was my ally, my protector. And together, we would face whatever the council threw our way. We didn't have much time. As the days passed, Mama Ebo prepared us for what was to come. She knew that the council would stop at nothing to capture me, and she helped me harness my power, teaching me how to control it. But every lesson, every bit of progress I made, was overshadowed by the knowledge that we were being hunted. The council's agents were already closing in. But I was no longer afraid. With Chidike by my side, I would fight. I would fight not just for myself, but for the future we had dreamed of. And whatever secrets lay ahead about his past, about the council, about my own destiny, I would face them head on. No more running. No more hiding. To be continued.